Alright, good afternoon. So I want to go through this lowrider ST, coming for an engine build. This is a total engine build. So we're updating the crank all the way through, going to 131 cubic inch, Cyclerama 512 cam. We are updating the majority of everything to chase what we want as a value out of this build. So Dave has come all the way from Mansfield, or Two Dogs they call him, which he's happy to use his nickname in this. But Dave's bike at the moment is a 117, box stock, slip-on exhaust or complete, whatever it is with the S&S stuff. However, that's all being excused. We're going to a D&D system. So just a little bit about the bike. This is going to be a big measurement thing. Okay, it's obviously going through working out compression ratios and tying in the camshaft with IVC to working where we want to go with a corrected compression or a dynamic compression. In mind, I already know where I want to go with it. So we will marry everything up, working through deck height allowance and CC in the chamber of the heads and rah. So it's going to tie up really, really nice. We've gone with the Screaming Eagle 131 kit. So obviously with the cylinders, all measurements take place. Piston ball clearance, obviously on pre-assembly, working through the head gasket thickness that goes on with it. Piston to valve clearance checks. The goal is to bump this thing up. I'd like to have it anywhere between 11.3 to 11.5 to 1 static, and then obviously introducing the camshaft and into IVC, we then work out what that corrected factor is. So S&S will be obviously the supplied brand for the crank, 4.5 inch stroke. So yet again, even the crankshaft gets checked out for trueness and everything else, even though they've got a spread pin, they're plugged and everything as well. They do handle the beating. We will be going through that and possibly also welding the crank pin to reassure that we don't have any obviously issues there whatsoever. I know we won't, but yet it's a precaution. So working up from there, we have got S&S componentry going into the bike. Just a couple of things that we are using are the piston jet squirters and also our cuffs going into a high lift cam and everything else. We obviously relieve and excuse the plastic cuffs that are in there. We're going to a fueling oil pump and cam plate, Cyclerama camshaft, the Screaming Eagle kit obviously, and they come with a really good CNC ported head. They work on a 95cc chamber, and we will be going into a lower cc value when it comes to our chamber allowance. But with the camshaft that's going into it, we're excusing the 517 Screaming Eagle. It's got a intake valve closing time at 40 degrees. So we're moving away from that, coming back into the 30s, mid 30s, about 36 degrees. But the ramp rate on the Screaming Eagle comes in quite late. So we are utilising something that's going to have, also with compression factor, more lower, earlier oomph on torque. It's going to time really, really nice. Now with the Screaming Eagle kit, one thing I'm excusing out is the cast 64mm manifold. We have just purchased today a Screaming Eagle 64 CNC manifold. So, you know, obviously knowing our airspeed allowance and what we're trying to achieve, everything's got to marry up because the motor obviously is going to be a blueprinted thing. There's a lot of pre-checks I'll be doing video content on it. Obviously with a lot of bottom end work, case comparison from left to right case and how square edged it is when we're actually torqued up with bolts on the cases to understand if we do have any uneven surfaces on clamp when they're together. I don't know how to word it in a way to sort of say it, but when the cases are together, we need to know things are marrying up and they're equal. Anything that's unaligned needs to be aligned, so to speak. So we're alleviating obviously anything to do with any oil leaks or when we're working with assisted deck heights. We want to know everything is marrying up correct. So we want to get machine work right, clearances right, tolerances whatever, and then do dry assembly, pull apart, measure till we're happy, and then obviously once that's right, we go to a final assembly and get going from there. So we're taking out the 5.5 GS injectors and going to 6.2. Man, there's that much stuff coming. So the exhaust is being excused, D&D Fat Cat will be going on. Great exhaust system, works really well. We'll excuse the air cleaner and update to another air cleaner. Yeah, there's a lot that goes on with this. It's not just parts off the shelf, let's go. We've got to measure everything. I mean, absolutely everything. Trueness to cylinders up and down. like I said, piston to bore clearances, make sure everything's right, then go in and file our rings to the gap of what we want, obviously due to what it is inch border to what we're trying to achieve on a ring end gap. Comply all that and get everything right, correct everything, go together, and then get a custom dyno tune at the end. So I'm super pumped on this one. It's going to go really, really well. I don't want to sit here and bang on about torque numbers and horsepower numbers. There's no real point. We know that's going to come anyway because of the way the motor's being set up. But the rideability on this thing is going to be absolutely unreal. So super keen. I know Dave's going to be stoked with it, and I appreciate him allowing me to do this job, having trust in me, and obviously getting this stuff on the way. But this will be a vlog series, so to speak, or a continuing series of motorcycle teardown. I'll even do a crank run out check on this engine, even though we're not using that crank. We'll go through and see how it was set up from factory. This bike's only done minimum Ks, to at least have evidence of how it is. Obviously, and then excusing all parts of what, and then moving into what our performance upgrade is going to be. So, yeah, super keen, and yeah, stay in touch on the videos. I don't know. I guess I've got to say, like, comment, share, follow the YouTube page. I'm trying to grow that thing to share with the Harley Davidson community, even in my way. I know a lot of people have this stuff and they do it, but I guess just having my own little sprinkle of what it is on these sorts of things can intrigue and influence others. You know, with their motorcycle, if they want to get something done from the shop, or just general know-how of what, to understand how their motorcycle works more. I'm all about knowledge, and I think everybody realises that by now. Yeah, so no, keen as, and we'll get the show on the road soon, and yeah, we'll do a teardown video, inspection video, and then obviously work through everything we need to on our new componentry, do all our stuff that we need to do, which I'll go into in the videos, and then, you know, before we know it, this thing's firing up, we're heat cycling it, and then on the dyno for its tune. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll be in touch for the next video.